I'm sure you've seen Donald Trump is saying that he's going to be indicted on Tuesday. He's calling for people to protest. Now, we don't know if that's true. The Manhattan DA has not said anything about it. But he's calling for people to protest. Is that irresponsible?
Well, first, let me say I'm taken aback at the idea of indicting a former president of the United States at a time when there's a crime wave in New York City. That the fact that the Manhattan DA thinks that indicting President Trump is his top priority, I think, just tells you everything you need to know about the radical left in this country. It just feels like a politically charged prosecution here. And I, for my part, I just feel like it's just not what the American people want to see.
Oh my God, shut up. Jesus, this dude wanted to kill you. And all that you can manage when he's trying to set it up again is these long pauses and sighs. He's just so bothered by this. He's being very genuine. He's just like, this isn't what the people want at a time of crime, as if that has anything to do with whether elites in society should get away with crimes. By your own rationale, what the hell is Congress doing investigating Hunter Biden when we have a fentanyl crisis in this country? At this time, you're going after Hunter Biden. Is it possible that you can do multiple things at the same time? That they can deal with the murders and also not let rich a-holes get away with many crimes over many years? So spare me the fake concern for decorum and precedent and all that. He's doing what most of them are doing, not wanting to come out and criticize Trump, even when it is merited, even required, because he's worried about getting attacked by the base.
No, and it's amazing to see it all buttoned up like that. It's just like, do we really hold people accountable? A wise man once said, when you're famous, they let you do anything. And I feel like truer words were never said.
100%. Well, we are unfortunately running short on time. I do want to let's jump to the third video, I think, where he gets into Mike Pence's own involvement in this thing in the past. So let's jump to that one, everybody.
He could have, the people are very angry.
They're saying hang Mike
Because it's common sense, John. It's common sense that you're supposed to protect. How can you, if you know a vote is fraudulent, right? Yeah. How can you pass on a fraudulent vote to Congress?
I mean, he's effectively justifying or excusing the actions of people who were calling for you to be hanged.
There was no excuse for the violence that took place at the Capitol on January 6th. And I'll never diminish it as long as I live.
Does justifying those murderers' chants, does that effectively disqualify him from being commander-in-chief again?
I think that's a judgment for the American people to make.
What's your judgment about it?
And I'm confident they'll make it. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I was angry that day. And while I believe in forgiveness, I've been working hard at that for a while. The president let me down that day. He let the country down that day.
Man, he is, I don't know what's in that chair that he's on, but it's doing a lot of work to prop him up without a spine. So he's saying this is the worst possible response. Can we be clear about that? You could criticize Trump, that would be great. It's merited, dude tried to kill you. That would be a great response. You could do what most Republicans will do, which is, no, he didn't do that. He didn't say that. He didn't do anything wrong. They were total patriots. It was all Antifa, blah, 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 and just deny the whole thing, which would be totally dishonest. But what he's doing is trying to make clear that he believes that Trump was wrong without ever actually saying it.
Yeah, no, I disagree, John. I think this is brilliant. I think he's actually nailed this, right?
Like, but he wants the American people to do a job that he's not willing to do.
Of course, but since when were politicians honest? He's back on, baby. Like, this is what he wants, and this is the line he's gonna have to toe this entire time. And he is trying to do what I think a lot of former Trump voters are also trying to do, which is leave Trump behind, love you, buddy, but we need to, keep our little racist train a moving, and they want someone to be a good off ramp. So So, okay, so here's the thing. I think DeSantis is a chance with the psychos, right? We're going harder, we're going crazier, we're throwing more doo-doo. And I think Mike Pence has a chance with some of those, again, middle of the road voters who maybe voted for Trump once, but maybe they switched to Biden, or maybe they abstained in 2020, or maybe they voted for Trump, but they know that he did in fact lose. And he is riding that line. I actually think, first of all, Pence practiced this a million times in the mirror. Because that was, honestly, John, that was good. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it was good.
Republican voters want strength. And it is so clear that he's weaseling out of saying what is both clear and I think necessary. It was unacceptable. He should never be in a position of authority again. And
forgiveness,
look, strategically,
but John, remember Jesus? Jesus?
I do remember him vaguely. So look, strategically, maybe this is a better way to pick away at Trump's base. But I also think they keep, obviously there's lots of them that want to move on from Trump. This is a window to potentially do that. If you broadsided him and DeSantis broadsided him and McCarthy broadsided him, they all finally used that powder they've been keeping dry, then maybe they could break him on the day that he's hauled in and fingerprinted.
That's true.
But they're not gonna do it because they're all so terrified.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.